Hi, I'm Jagriti from Ignite Bollywood Dance Company, and we've been exploring 8 different feminine archetypes in our Bollywood Babes dance classes. Today I want to talk to you about Wild Babe. This week, while exploring Wild Babe through dance, movement, screaming and yelling, I completely lost my voice. I was in physical pain and completely feeling exhausted, emotional, so much coming up for me. And I think it's a representation of where Wild Babe can take you. Wild Babe. What is Wild Babe? Wild Babe is raw, unapologetic, untamed, natural, completely in tune with nature. She is transformative, cathartic, and I describe her as the colon cleanse for your soul. Any suppressed anger, resentment, hurt, pain, negative beliefs that you're holding, Wild Babe will be the cleanser of that all. She will allow that stuff to come right up and smack you in the face. Now, it's important, sometimes it will smack you in the face in a way that is really quite shocking to the system, and you aren't able to handle that very well. And that's usually because you've spent so much time suppressing that. However, if you allow for regular sort of access to your emotions and that depth of darkness within you, if you allow yourself to access that quite regularly, then she won't be erupting all of a sudden. She won't be slapping you in the face. She will simply be expressed through the channels that you choose to express her through, whether it's creative arts, whether it's writing, whether it's screaming into a pillow, dancing. However you choose to do that, you actually have some say in how she expresses herself. The problem is that society has not wanted women to be as wildly expressive in their full expression. It's often been feared. If you look at nature and the wilderness, it's unpredictable. You don't know what could happen, when it could happen. There could be a tsunami, there could be a volcano eruption, an earthquake. We don't know. And so with Wild Babe, it's similar. There's that innate fear of the unknown and how volatile nature is. So how volatile your own nature is. And it finds expression no matter how much you try and suppress it. So the best way to deal with Wild Babe is to actually use that energy, use that expression that comes up through Wild Babe and direct it in the most positive, healthy way. Allow space for that expression. One of the most beautiful gifts of Wild Babe is that she is not looking for any kind of approval or recognition from anybody. When you go out into the wilderness and you look at the ocean or you look at a forest, is it asking you for permission to be the ocean or to be the forest? Is it asking you whether the waves should move like this or like that? No, it's not. Just like that, the Wild Babe within you is just as she is. She is just as she's supposed to be, and she does not need any permission to be that way. She does not need any approval from the outside world to be the way that she shows up in this world. The beauty in not seeking approval is that you are then allowed to show up as your most authentic self. You don't have to hide behind being something that you're not. You don't have to hide behind anything because you can just show up as you are. Wild Babe allows space for your light and dark sides, both. She embraces you as a whole, just as you are. She expresses you as a whole, just as you are. She doesn't omit or edit out who you are. She's you at its most raw and authentic. Oftentimes, because we've suppressed so much, Wild Babe, when she shows up and expresses herself in a volatile way, it's often followed by Magnetic Babe, a soft, vulnerable, deeply emotional side of you. So if you look at an example where you haven't been able to express a certain emotion and you're holding on to it and you're suppressing it, and you think you've gotten over it, but it just keeps coming back, sort of niggling in the back of your mind, something that you've just pushed away, not acknowledged that, hey, I really feel this way. Then one day you just explode. You express that in the most unhealthy way at the wrong person possibly. You hurt them, you scream out of anger, out of pain. And following that, you start feeling so sad and emotional and vulnerable. That's how she can express and show up, and then the very next minute you're out of rage, you've gone into sadness. Let's look at Wild Babe's blind spots. Wild Babe is raw, authentic, completely in tune with nature, and extremely expressive, unedited self-expression. Now, sometimes that is not the perfect way to be in a specific situation. So it's very important to bring in some of the other archetypes, such as Nurturing Babe or Magnetic Babe, the more softer, compassionate, loving, warm archetypes, in order to allow yourself to express yourself in a way that doesn't completely disconnect people from you. Wild Babe's superpowers are that she is completely authentic, unapologetic in her self-expression. She does not seek approval, and she knows who she is, and she just is. She doesn't need to analyze it. She doesn't need to present herself in a certain diplomatic way. She is just as nature is, just as wilderness is. Wild Babe is connected with your natural cycles, your connection with nature. And it's very important to check in with her to see how it is that you're truly feeling versus how you're projecting yourself to the world. Are you wearing a mask, or are you being true and authentic? So let's look at how to bring Wild Babe to life. There are a number of things that you can do. The most important is to stop lying to yourself. That is one of the best ways to bring her to life. Sometimes it's important to maintain harmony with the people in your life, the relationships that you have. And so we sometimes present ourselves in a way that will be acceptable to society. I understand that that's an important part for us to operate in society. What's truly important here is that you are always authentic and true to yourself. You're not lying to yourself about how you truly feel about something, what's happening within you. You're not making stories up. You're simply there and you're acknowledging it. That's one of the best ways to tap into Wild Babe, because she knows the truth. She won't like, you can't trick her. If you're behaving in a really pleasant way with a coworker, for example, who has been putting you down in some way, who has been conniving or dismissive of you, yet you're holding on to those feelings, but in front of them you're in front of them you're presenting yourself as if you're unfazed by it, but inside, churning within you is this pent-up resentment, anger towards that person. You can't lie to Wild Babe about it. She will feel it and she will acknowledge it. And that's very, very important for you to do as well. To tap into Wild Babe, it's also very important to really tap into that energy, the dark side within you, that maybe you're perhaps not showing to other people, but at least acknowledge it for yourself. Express it in a way that is good for you, that connects with you, resonates with you. I love to dance, so if you want to turn up the music really loud, dance and scream, just do that. If you want to grab a pillow and scream into the pillow, do that. Someone had an idea of while driving, turn on really loud music and start screaming. Release, cathartic release, that's what it's all about. So you can find your own way to express yourself. Some people do it through art, painting, dancing, writing. Find something that resonates with you and express yourself. Express that energy, that anger, that rage, all the darkness within you. Just allow that some expression.